What's that?
What do you think you've been meeting to tell us that you have to do last week?
We've had nicer weather than last week. It wasn't as hot, but hopefully we're prepared if it is hot on Saturday. So we covered everything. We got weather taken care of, right? Anything else you guys want? Pressing questions?
For you, obviously, you want to get the win. You want to stay healthy with Pac-12 on the horizon. What else as a coach do you want to see coming from this one?
Wrong question. We're not talking about Pac-12 on the horizon. We're just talking about our next opponent. So
What does it mean for the final non-conference game? What do you
again,
want
we
to
don't
see?
talk of it like that. We just talk about improvement in everything we do. You know, are we better in making decisions on going for two? You know, we made a mistake on that last week. Are we better in tackling in the open field? Are we better in getting the defense, getting the other opposing offense off the field on third down and not allowing third down conversion? Are we better ourselves on converting third downs? You know, our second drive last week, we were 3 and out. We didn't look very good on that. You know, on the drive that we scored touchdowns on, there were a couple penalties on it. You know, that benefited us, and we capitalized on that. But can we drive the ball down the field and do things that we consistently want to do? It's just a one-week season every single time we talk about it. So there's been no talk about, hey, let's do this before we get into conference play. That's not been our mindset. That's not how we set things up. It's every week, how do we improve as a group? And when you can do that, I think you end up at the end of the year, like we talked about, we'll pick our heads up sometime in December and see where we are. But it's about staying in the moment, focusing in the moment, and staying right on task where we are right now. So.
You guys signed a good crop of linebackers. It sounds like Hardrick's the guy who may be closest to being in the mix. What did Rodney show you in fall camp?
You're wrong on that one too. So I don't know who's going to be in the mix, and it just
But
depends
he's
on
dressing. Nobody else is even dressing.
They're dressing. There'll be more dressing. So figure that out. Right? We write the story again on Saturday. But it's, you know, he's sharp. He came from a really good high school program. He learned very well. The same high school program as Alejandro and Derek. You know, and I think he's very well coached coming out of high school. But I think because of what's going on, a lot of those young guys are going to have to play eventually at some point in time. So we'll see how that plays itself out.
Yeah. And then Nevada gave you got into a nice rhythm, a quick tempo. I guess in this game it's important to continue that after keep going in that direction.
It is, and that's what we always want to do. But I think where we weren't in a rhythm in the first game was because of penalties. You know, we had 2 penalties in the first 3 plays of the game. You know, and that sets you back. And now instead of being in positive situations where you're in 1st and 10 and then 2nd and short, 3rd and short, and then continuing to get first downs, you know, we're in 1st and 10, we're in 2nd and short, and then all of a sudden we're in 2nd and long, and we're in 3rd and long, and that makes it very, very difficult for us to go through this. So it's really staying away from the penalty part of the thing that allows us to get into rhythm. So.
Good.
Good.